Claude Opus 4.7 introduces a significant shift in how high-performance artificial intelligence handles complex tasks. You are standing at a crossroads in the evolution of digital intelligence, where the tools you use are becoming more autonomous, more visual, and more precise. Anthropic has released Claude Opus 4.7, their most capable model to date, and it is specifically designed to handle the kind of long-horizon, complex work that previously required constant human intervention. This isn't just a minor update to a chatbot. It is a fundamental reconfiguration of how AI processes information through a massive 1 million token context window and high-resolution visual perception. For you, this means the boundary between a digital assistant and a digital colleague is blurring. The release centers on Claude Opus 4.7, a model that prioritizes agentic work, tasks where the AI acts as an agent to solve multi-step problems over long periods. While its predecessor, Opus 4.6, laid the groundwork for reasoning, this version refines the process through a feature called adaptive thinking. Here is the part that matters. The model no longer follows a fixed script for how much it should think before answering. Instead, it scales its internal reasoning based on the difficulty of your request. If you ask for a simple summary, it moves quickly. If you ask it to refactor a complex code base across dozens of files, it pauses, plans, and executes with a level of depth that mimics human problem solving. This shift changes everything for you because it introduces a new way to manage AI costs and performance through effort levels. Anthropic has introduced a parameter that allows you to tune the model's intelligence against your token spend. By selecting the high effort level, you're telling the model to use its full cognitive weight for high-stakes coding or research. Conversely, you can dial it back for simpler tasks to save on resources. This level of control puts you in the driver's seat of the model's brain power, ensuring you aren't overpaying for simple answers or underpowering complex ones. One of the most immediate changes you will notice is in how Claude sees the world. Claude Opus 4.7 is the first model in the family to support high-resolution images, jumping from a limit of 1.15 megapixels to 3.75 megapixels. This isn't just about clearer pictures. It is about functional utility. When a model looks at a technical diagram, a dense spreadsheet, or a complex user interface, its internal coordinate system now maps 1:1 with actual pixels. This removes the need for scale factor math that often led to errors in previous versions. If you are a developer using AI to understand UI screenshots or a researcher analyzing intricate charts, the model can now point, measure, and count with surgical precision. This brings us to a critical development in how the AI manages its own workflow, task budgets. For the first time, you can give a model a suggested token allowance for an entire multi-step project. Think of it as giving a contractor a budget for a renovation. The model sees a running countdown of its tokens and uses that information to prioritize its work. It will focus on the most important parts of your request first and aim to finish the task gracefully before it runs out of fuel. This prevents the common frustration of an AI getting halfway through a long task and suddenly cutting off or losing its train of thought. This is where it gets interesting for those who rely on AI for heavy-duty documentation. Claude Opus 4.7 has seen massive improvements in what is known as knowledge work. Specifically, its ability to handle Microsoft Word redlining and PowerPoint editing has been overhauled. In the past, AI might struggle to maintain the layout of a slide while changing the text. Now, the model uses its improved visual perception to self-check its own outputs. It looks at the slide it just created, realizes a text box is overlapping an image, and corrects it before you ever see the mistake. The technical architecture has also seen a silent but powerful upgrade. A new tokenizer is in place, which changes how the model reads text. While this might increase token usage by up to 35% in some cases, it allows for much higher accuracy in complex reasoning. To balance this, Anthropic has simplified the API by removing older settings like temperature and top piece sampling. They are encouraging a move away from fiddling with knobs and toward clear, direct prompting. The model is now more literal. It won't guess what you want if you aren't specific, but it will follow your exact instructions with a level of loyalty that previous models lacked. For the power users and developers, the introduction of a managed memory tool is a game changer. Claude is now significantly better at maintaining a file system-based memory. If you're working on a project over several days, the model can jot down notes to itself in a structured scratchpad. When you return to the conversation, it doesn't just rely on the immediate context. It consults its notes to remember the specific architectural decisions or stylistic preferences you established hours or even days ago. The tone of the model has also shifted. Gone are the overly bubbly responses and excessive emojis found in earlier versions. Claude Opus 4.7 adopts a more direct, opinionated, and professional tone. It feels less like a customer service bot and more like a technical lead. It provides regular progress updates during long tasks, so you aren't left wondering if the model is still working or if it has frozen. This transparency is vital for long-horizon work where a single prompt might trigger several minutes of background processing. However, with great power comes a more rigorous approach to safety. Anthropic has integrated real-time cybersecurity safeguards. If a request veers into high-risk territory involving prohibited security topics, the model is trained to decline. For those performing legitimate security research, there is now a cyber verification program to ensure that the tool's capabilities are used responsibly. This balance of high-end capability and strict safety protocols is a hallmark of the Claude ecosystem. As you look at how to implement this in your own workflow, the migration path is relatively straightforward but requires attention. Because extended thinking has been replaced by adaptive thinking, old API calls will need to be updated. The model no longer defaults to high verbosity. It calibrates its response length to the complexity of the task. If you ask a short question, you get a short, precise answer. If you dive into a deep analysis, the model expands its output to match the depth required. This evolution represents a significant step toward truly autonomous digital labor. By combining 1:1 pixel vision, adaptive reasoning, and a 1 million token memory, Claude Opus 4.7 isn't just answering questions. It is executing projects. Whether you're using it to refactor a massive code base, analyze complex financial charts, or manage intricate document workflows, the model is designed to stay ahead of the curve. It is a tool built for the pro user who needs reliability and precision over flair and personality. The shift toward these agentic capabilities means that your role is moving from doer to director. You provide the budget, the goal, and the constraints, and the model handles the cognitive heavy lifting. This transition is happening across the industry, and with Opus 4.7, the floor for what an AI can accomplish autonomously has been raised significantly. You now have a system that can see what it's doing, remember what it did, and plan what it's going to do next, all while staying within the boundaries you set.